We have a joke like that here too, only it ends in a small pianist.
Well, you know what they say.
Or a
It's better
12
to
inch,
have
I
lobsters.
should say a
That's a
12 inch
great
tall,
line.
a 12-inch pianist.
That's a great
12
line to start a
Yeah.
show.
There we
have
are.
jokes like that as
Exactly.
well, but it ends in a pianist.
Come on in, everybody. It's time for Sunday Funnies. It's Sunday morning, the 5th of March. No matter what Glenn may say.
No, don't listen to Glenn.
Never listen to what. Don't listen
It's
to
Sunday
anything I
morning.
say.
It's the 5th
Glenn has
of
been
March.
affected by some kind of quantum time slip. So
This
just
is-
don't listen to him.
This is almost like a comics by night. You're going to love this. This is a very unique book, very rare book we're going to go over right after we run our opening here. Run over our opening here. Here we are.
Get the right one.
I got the right one. I'm pretty sure it's the right one. Yes, it is.
That's so intense.
Look, everybody's entitled to be an idiot.
It's true.
Oh, and
Everyone
we're
tries.
gonna need to run this one this morning too.
The views and opinions expressed within the video content found on the Indie Comics Network are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Indie Comics Network or its sponsors.
There's a big reason for that coming up here. I have a unicorn right there. That book is rare, never be reprinted, never see the light of day again. I never see it at shows. I was lucky to get it given to me as a Christmas gift by Jason Moore many years ago. This is a slipcase bound volume of the Monster Society of Evil from Fawcett's Captain Marvel, the Shazam Captain Marvel. This is printed back in the 40s. It's a 26 episode multi-part epic involving all of the major villains
Look at that.
Wow.
Wow. Look at that. That's beautiful, isn't it?
of Captain Marvel. That's gold embossed there. That's great. Just phenomenal. Last time I saw this listed, somebody was offering it for $300.
Good lord.
Wow.
And that was a couple of decades ago. This was a limited edition. This is back before DC owned outright the rights for Captain Marvel. Back in the late 70s, they went and rented the rights to Captain Marvel, being the wonderful, smart people that they were, and started doing the Shazam comic over again. Every time Captain Marvel appeared anywhere, including Shazam, in the Shazam book, they had to pay Fawcett. And Fawcett stopped printing Captain Marvel because DC had sued them, saying that Captain Marvel was too close to Superman. So in the long run, after about 20 years or so, I think they realized that they had paid Fawcett more money than what Fawcett paid them in fines to stop printing Captain Marvel. And they said, why don't we just buy this thing outright? But in the meantime, it was available for very limited licensing, very limited release. Hardly nobody ever put out an image. I didn't realize Captain Marvel existed until I ran across a copy of Jules Pfeiffer's great comic book Heroes. And that was just a couple of years before Shazam had come out, because they were safeguarding all of this product. And there was a time when Captain Marvel was outselling Superman. That kind of ticked Superman off. But what really got them mad is the Captain Marvel theater serial that was out. Captain Marvel, this Captain Marvel, the Shazam Captain Marvel, was the first live action superhero film. And that's what really ticked national periodicals off. They finally activated a cease and desist that they had served Fawcett before the war and hadn't bothered to pursue it until well after the war. Once Captain Marvel hit the theaters, they took him to court. And the court battle lasted literally for years while they were showing stuff that Captain Marvel had done compared to stuff that Superman had done. And the Captain Marvel lawyers were coming up with the same stuff that Superman had done and showed them that Popeye had done it years before.
Yeah, I was about to say it's like it's obvious now. You couldn't do that now. You couldn't take it to court now because it'd be laughed out of court. But I suppose that's because of there's so many popular stories. So it's difficult to say, oh, one person can do this, another person can't. Okay, they're in a cape, but other than that, it's completely different. So
when Superman first came out, though, there were at least two major cease and desists that went through. One was a court case by Amazing Comics, Amazing Man, that Will Eisner created. That was a real quick court case because it was literally created as a ripoff of Superman, and that was shut down. Then Fawcett come out with a character called Master Man that they had in the first 6 issues of Master Comics. And Fawcett sent them a cease and desist, and they voluntarily stopped Master Man, then went through and added all of this magical element and the youth element, Billy Batson, to Captain Marvel, and kicked it back out in Whiz Comics, #1.
Right.
They kept Master Comics going, and Master Comics 10 or 11, I think, started running the adventures of Captain Marvel Jr.
Right. Because, even when I was a kid and I saw Superman and Shazam, Captain Marvel, I could see they just weren't the same character.
No.
And any kind of cursory read where you could see like this Rick and Captain Marvel, because weirdly enough, Captain Marvel and Rick, what's his face from
Rick Jones.
You're
thinking the Marvel Captain Marvel,
yeah. Ended up having the exact same relationship, as the original Captain Marvel, and his alter ego. So that's a rip-off in itself.
Only Billy and Captain Marvel didn't talk like Rick Jones and the Marvel's Captain Marvel used to be able to talk back.
I know, but at the end of the day, it's the concept that matters. Yeah. So if you're trying to take Captain Marvel to court because it's too much like Superman, then technically you could take Marvel to court for Captain Marvel and Rick Jones because it's the same concept as Shazam.
Yeah.
But one of the lawyers love it.
At the time Marvel started Captain Marvel, Rick Jones Captain Marvel.
Right.
DC didn't have the rights to the character.
I thought Rick Jones was the Hulk.
They were licensing it from Fawcett, who still had the rights to the character and the rights to the other Fawcett Pantheon. As far as I know, DC's never paid for it. So Spy Smasher, Bullet Man, Ibis the Invincible, Minuteman, all of those characters that Fawcett used to print, Golden Arrow, and all that are in public domain.
So what did DC own from this book then? The Captain Marvel,
nothing.
Yeah, right. So it's all public domain now.
This isn't public domain anymore. DC owns the right to Captain Marvel, Shazam.
Right.
And they own the rights to all of the villains that are here in this book. But at the time this book was printed, they didn't.
Right.
The people who printed this book did a very limited edition. In fact, this is numbered. Once we get inside here.
Wow, look at that.
It's a great picture of Captain Marvel.
Look at that.
That is Nostalgia Library.
That is gorgeous.
Oh, and Mike Higgs.
Just in Time to Battle, the Monster Society of Evil, compiled and designed by Mike Higgs. This is actually, Go ahead.
Mike Higgs. I know Mike Higgs. He did a couple of articles for Crikey for me as a cartoonist over here.
There you go.
And he's a historian as well.
Yeah.
He did The Phantom, a book about the Phantom.
This is book number 268 out of the 3,000 numbered copies that were printed.
Right.
So, and this collects the entire Monster Society of Evil saga, a series I should point out that DC had solicited for. They were going to do their own book, and then everybody started crying about the horrible cultural stereotypes that are found in the story. And DC backed right off and decided not to do it. So they're never going to reprint a lot of this material. Once we get into it, you'll definitely see why.
So the only place you'll see this is in some kind of
here or in the originals.
I don't know whether you
Luftwaffe memorabilia.
I don't know whether you caught that, Russ, but this is compiled by Mike Higgs. You know Mike Higgs?
Mike Higgs.
He's British cartoonist. He does in a historian.
So. Yeah.
He did some work on the Phantom. He did.
Okay. Yeah.
I just said he did an article for me for Crikey.
For Nostalgia Library, Hawk Books. Let's see if there's an address here. Yeah, it's England, London.
Yeah,
sure is. Hawk Books Limited.
This whole idea of banning books, of not showing what went before, it's utterly ridiculous,
isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
It's just the whole point is knowing what went on in the past, so that you know where to go in the future. Looking at stakes, looking at the way things were done. Yes, things were offensive because of ignorance. That's the whole point. Aren't we on a journey as humankind to relieve ourselves of our own ignorance?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's similar to that story I told you about before we get into it, Randy, about the Avengers comic strip over here, where somebody owns the artwork, somebody owns the name, so we can't see it.
Yeah,
we can't. It's been in the box for nearly 50 years now. That artwork, and they can't do anything with it because they own DC Thompson own the artwork, but they don't own the Avengers.
Wouldn't it be even worse if they could get together and get that artwork out?
Well,
and
that's what I mean.
Some people in the executive decision process went, "Oh no, that might offend some people, so we can't possibly print it." I mean, that's hideous.
Well, that's another censorship, isn't it?
That's up there for me. It's up there with book burning.
Yeah.
It's despicable and disgusting. You know, like the only way to beat bad ideas is with good ideas.
Yeah.
You know, and so you show the bad ideas, you show what went on, you show how things were, and why it is that we've moved forward.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
I think. Sorry, just to finish off, I think one of the main reasons for not showing that we have moved forward is that there is some political gain to be made by suggesting that we haven't moved forward. Okay, and so the idea that you can view these things and say, right, well, look at what we used to be like, we're much better than that now. If you can't show that, then you can suggest that we're still as bad as we ever were.
Yeah,
and make mileage out of it. Well, so
the thing is that you can't.
It's the big red cheese.
You can't expect a classic to come to you. You have to go to the classic.
Yeah.
So if you start, if you're reading To Kill a Mockingbird and you're upset by the language, and what you've got to tell yourself is that that's how it was when that lady wrote that book.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And leave it there and be disgusted, but don't stop everybody reading it just because you don't like it.
Yeah, because
take the things that enrage.
Go ahead, Luke.
I was just going to say, take the things that enrage you and allow them to make you better.
Yeah,
exactly.
Forge a better way.
Learn from it.
Learn from our mistakes. Absolutely.
Use them to prove you're right.
Yes, use them to make better decisions.
Yeah.
Anyway,
right, Randy, let's go.
Captain Marvel is a creation of both C.C. Beck and Parker, Colonel Parker. I think his first name might have been Jeff.
Red cheese.
I don't know. Originally, they did a Ashcan Comics. They were going to call Whiz Comics Flash Comics, but they discovered there was another Flash Comics already out there that spawned the Flash, so they switched it over to Whiz Comics because they had printed a pulp magazine before that called Captain Billy's Whiz Bang.
So they've published the Flash comics that they couldn't publish, so to speak, on that.
No, they did an Ashcan of it
right.
to secure copyright and found out that they couldn't because there was another Flash Comics out there already.
Okay. Well, that was published.
Yeah. Plus, originally, Captain Marvel was supposed to be called Captain Thunder.
Right.
And they had to change that as well because they were afraid that it would be mistaken for Johnny Thunder That was a character that DC had at the time, which was currently gaining really hard in popularity. He's the guy who says, "Say you," and the little pink genie pops up to fulfill his wishes. So created by C.C. Beck. C.C. come off of an advertising career where he realized once he started doing comics that he needed to strip his style down in order for the color to come through. That's why he's the big red
see that? See where he's sitting on that shell? I wonder if Stanley Kubrick saw that.
Yeah, maybe.
The slim pickings on that nuclear bomb.
There's a lot in this you're gonna recognize. So that once Captain Marvel come out, and he was so popular, there was all sorts of different incarnations of Marvel, or of Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel Jr., Mary Marvel sprung out, which is the first female sidekick. Captain Marvel Jr. Wasn't the first actual sidekick because Robin and a few other characters were out by then. But there weren't a lot of female superheroes at the time. Mary Marvel come out. All of it was really successful. Mary was in WoW Comics. She had her own title for a while. Captain Marvel Jr. was in Master Comics, and he had his own title for a while.
That Master Comics cover there, I love that kind of patriotism that it's shown.
Yeah.
You couldn't do that today, could you? Because somebody would be upset with that.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Not off of the flag imagery anymore, yeah. You'd get somebody getting upset. But again, here is the serial Captain Marvel, which still holds up surprisingly well, especially considering the budget that they had. So the Captain Marvel is when he's flying, he is a mannequin on a wire strung across.
Yeah.
They take and they throw, and then they
is that bottom right Wiz Comics cover CC Beck?
Here?
Yeah.
That's CC's work, yeah.
Yeah, look at in a fantastic cover that way. Looking at the book with the guys looking at the book. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely wonderful.
Oh, that's
CC
deep.
Did a lot of this stuff. It started out as the main house design, but Captain Marvel got to be so popular that they had a lot of other artists come in drawing in the same style because the style was so simplistic. A lot of times it's very hard to distinguish which artist was doing what because it looks so much alike.
Yeah, like now.
Yeah, a lot like now.
Yeah, a lot like now. Only there's a lot more controlled. Captain Midnight was part of it.
Captain Midnight.
Captain Midnight's
was part of
Oliver North's favorite cartoon, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was a big comic, big radio play for Aviator. Back when aviators were raging on the radio. Yep.
Yeah.
As far as I know, Captain Marvel never had his own radio show. Superman did. But I don't remember Captain Marvel ever having one. They were part of Gift Comics. Every Christmas, every December season, they throw a bunch of comics together into a really thickly bound book, 300 and some pages, and sell it for kids or for parents to wrap and put under the Christmas tree. So sometimes kids will get this incredibly thick, annual comic of reprints.
There seems to be annuals all the time now that aren't actually the annuals that we grew up with.
Right.
Like Glenn and I would remember, literally every Christmas. They would have all kinds of annuals out. TV21 probably had one. But
it did. Yeah, Thunderbirds. Yeah, Thunderbirds. Used to look forward to those. Yeah.
Doctor Who, Marvel annuals.
All the 2000 AD.
Marvel UK got into doing them as well, but Whizzer and Chips and Dandy
they used to have
Buster.
all new material and prose material in them as well.
Yeah. They'd make a big deal out of it. Yeah.
Got a couple of Blake 7 annuals like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Jigsaw Puzzle, Captain Marvel. There was all sorts of Captain Marvel merchandising. This character was so popular, it started coming out bi-weekly.
Who says we in the cinema, eh?
We.
I can understand somebody saying yay and hooray, but we. Mind you, that's got
like an amusement park ride. Unless they have to.
Here we go. Here we go.
That's that English.
You know what? I'm gonna bring Wee back. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, the guy there.
Do it.
The guy next to the wee guy looks like Tintin, doesn't he?
He does a little bit.
That hair, doesn't he?
And he's not saying anything.
No, well,
he's there secretly.
Yeah.
He smuggled his dog in.
That's it. That must be what it is.
That's what the guy with the that's what the guy with the glasses say. He said, "Wee, look at that dog. What's he doing?"
Mr. Banjo. Yeah. Look at those names, Mr. Banjo and Nippo, Captain Nazi.
God. Captain Nazi. I wonder what side of of the political divide that one lies on.
Princess Rajabuti.
You have to ask. Yeah.
Oh,
Mr.
dear.
Banjo Nippo, Princess Rajabuti, and others.
And others.
Yeah.
There are others involved.
Savannah Iback is in this. Yeah. We
This is
figure
going
out
to
who
sear
Mr. Mind
our
is.
eyes as we look.
Pearl of the Peril.
These were shot off of the comics. They weren't shot off of the original art, but
Oh wow!
they were. There was enough care taken with them that they have a black border around them, black
All
background.
right. Look at that. That's cool.
That's
That's
great, isn't it?
gorgeous.
Oh, I can
So
see
that's-
Captain Nazi.
Setting the stage, yes,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah, he doesn't stand out, does he?
In case you weren't clear.
Yes.
He's not going to back off from that opinion, is he? Hey?
And remember, this is done during the early 40s. There are a
Yeah.
lot of symbolism and a lot of caricatures, a lot of stereotypes of
Yeah,
the
I mean,
day.
you've got to remember that a lot of the caricaturing and stereotyping was all part of the
Propaganda.
propaganda. Yeah,
Yeah.
everything was propagandized, and you know, it was a simple way of doing it, but making your opponents look ugly
Yeah.
is a you know, it's a tried and tested way of
Now, wait.
producing propaganda.
Wait until you see the Emperor and Hitler in this. It's great. Anyway.
Yeah, well,
Looks a bit-
they're sort
looks a
of
bit
they're
chunky,
open
doesn't
for.
it?
That's the trouble is that you have got to see you haven't just got to see this from a perspective of, you know, race and demographics and how unkind and intolerant some of those depictions were. But you
Definitely.
also have to see it from the time of the propaganda and the fact that we're in a world war,
Yes.
and see why. Not excusing it, just saying
Yeah.
why people
Well,
did it.
That's
And
why
that-
I was saying earlier about the classics.
Yeah,
You have to.
Yeah.
It's a time machine, isn't it? A book.
it is. Yeah.
And you need to be in that time that you're reading it. You might not agree with it and be disgusted, but you've got to. You shouldn't cancel it. Was what I'm saying.
No, exactly. It's always a learning process.
There's a character in this. Well, they're all historical, but there's a character in here that's very historical because it really changed the face of Fawcett. He was the first really character that was canceled,
Has Captain Nazi got a scar?
and
Or
there's
is
a
that-
good reason. Yeah, he
think
does.
it's just-
I think he
is it-
does.
Of course, he's got one.
He's got a scar.
That was that fraternity, wasn't it? Where they used to cut the faces with foils, didn't they? Used to get each other the best star. Have you heard about that?
Is that what it is?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you know Werner von Braun,
Yeah.
who did the Saturn V. Well, you know, if you look at him, he's a really good-looking bloke, and there was this fraternity within the Nazis, and they used to do foil fighting, and they used to. If you look at a guy called Kurt Dubus, who was also with NASA, he's got this horrendous scar from his lip all the way up to his eye, and you think, what happened to you? Well, I read about them in Operation Paperclip. And they used to do it to each other, but they wouldn't let Werner von Braun's greatest disappointment in his life, that they said to him, "You're going to be our face. You're too good looking. You can't have this scar."
Oh.
Wow.
Oh well, Operation Paperclip and the American Nazi space program.
That's right. Yeah,
Good Lord.
very interesting.
Yeah.
Whammo.
Whammo.
This was a classic. This was a classic panel here
Bang, 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 bang.
to show his invulnerability. He's just standing there taking it.
He's
Look
just
at that.
leant on that box with
Yeah,
his
look at
Captain
that.
Nazi's hand in.
That's like the Thompson twins, isn't it? And we blow his brains out. Gee, I'm sorry, fellows, that never works. Bang, 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 bang. It's brilliant. Look at him trapping Captain Nazi's hand in the box.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
He's amputated my wrist. Ow.
That's pure comedy, that is.
Yeah. That's a real Stan Lee thing, that Thompson twin bit there. We blow his brains out.
It's out.
Remember that in Captain America?
Oh, I like that. The D in the out there.
Yeah.
Zip his brains out.
Out. Bang, bang.
I'll do-
Brilliant. This
Get
is
to the chopper.
This is the best thing I've ever seen. It's brilliant.
You know, I'm
Wow.
so influenced by these old books. I'll do that with some of my scripts. And my wife's like, "What are you trying to say?" I'm like, "You got to read it with an accent." She's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Just read it with an accent. Do it. Just do it." Say Vimlo. Do it.
Look at those legs in the bottom of that corner where he hits him.
Right.
It does work though, because bizarrely, I kind of learnt some accent from the southern drawl that you used to get in the X-Men comics from
Rogue?
What's his fake Rogue and the guy with the French
Gambit. Yeah,
Gambit. That's it. Yeah.
I learned
Card thrower.
I learned German reading not Commando comics. Some I can't remember what it was now. Some British comics, and the Germans always used to say Donner Unblitzen and all this kind of stuff.
Donner Unblitzen.
Yeah, so we used to run around the schoolyard shooting at each other, shouting Basis Los and all this stuff,
I mean, it's not to say that you can do the accent, but what it does is it accentuates that aspect of the voice of the.
It does.
And it does mean that you pick that up. You kind of listen for it.
Yeah.
And how can you read that without being happy?
Yeah.
Right?
That was part of the charm of the character in general. You get stuff like that going on all the time.
That's great.
Absolutely,
a lot of whimsy there you don't see anymore.
Yeah, that panel there, bang, bang, bang.
I love that jam.
Yeah.
Sorry, fellas, that never happened. That never works.
I should scan that and put it on Facebook.
And then the next panel, he
the accent.
Them.
Yeah.
He whacks them. You can see both their hats, so he's got both of them.
And the question is in real life, why isn't Captain Marvel hammering Captain Nazi in the face until he's a bloody pulp and dead? That's and the whole thing is because it's a funny book. Yeah, that's the point. It's whimsical entertainment and stupid. Okay, but the joke's on Captain Nazi.
Well, we're just starting. This is we haven't gotten to the really stupid yet.
Yeah.
So, this is just the setup for the classic. Here's all the villains: Dr. Savannah, Ibeck.
Oh my God, that's
good old Captain Nazi brought him in with them. There's all sorts of all sorts of stereotypes running here.
This is like this is like a comic book version of Hello, Hello, Glenn.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Well, there's a secret organization to this voice, and the other end of the radio has been organizing all of the villains. And
Mr. Mind.
They're all.
I will say this only once.
They're all organized.
Mr. Mind and his brother, Never You.
Yeah.
Never you.
Exactly right.
God.
This is the best comic I've ever seen. I'm
trying to point out. That's why we're showing it on Sunday Funnies. Dr. Savannah is the first bald mad scientist.
He is the first one.
They brought Luther back into Superman.
Right. Oh, because of that.
Without any hair.
Because of him.
Savannah was so popular, yes.
Isn't it a good job that there wasn't 15 of them? Because he goes, Savannah, Iback, Nippo, Mr. Banjo, Fred, Blogs. The whole list. He's there for 4 hours before they kill him,
Could you imagine?
You way in the back. I don't recognize you at all. Whoever the hell your name is.
Batman said the same thing. He'd have like a list. Like you wouldn't get any comic book for a while. They'd just with his list of all these bad guys.
Look at the chair with the swastikas on.
Oh God.
But isn't Captain Nazi a wimp the way he's hiding behind the big guy at the door?
You're not going to find that at IKEA, are you?
Oh, isn't that superb?
I don't know. If you look hard enough, you might find it.
Probably will
find
next
some
week.
Casual swastikas on your furniture.
Dear me.
It's like that. We ran that Dilbert cartoon. Some editorial cartoon that they ran.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
That was.
How I never noticed this before.
Never noticed this before.
Oh, this is the best, isn't it?
Wham.
No wonder they wanted to close it down because it's better than their stuff.
Hilarious.
That's it exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Dan Didio said back when he was running DC, he couldn't understand why the facsimile editions were selling more than the new stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, equality. Hello. Yeah.
Is that woman he's taking off? Is she a bad guy? Is she?
No, it's the princess. It's the princess. What's her face?
He saved her, is he?
Look at that. Stupid dolts, weaklings. Couldn't you stop Captain Marvel? He's no cream puff, Mr. Martin.
He's no cream puff.
It's no cream puff, Mr. Martin.
Oh dear.
He said that out loud while wearing while wearing pants over his tights.
Yes.
With a swastika on his chest and a cape.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What's he doing? Has he got a cigarette there? He says, "Not this time." It looks like he's had a drag of a joint and he's falling over.
It's a cigarette. Yeah.
He's puffing his cigarette evilly.
It's like a racist Liberace, is what it looks like.
This is absolutely. This is just gold, isn't
This
it?
is a product of their time. Come on.
Look at that. India, land of mystery.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a land of some really bad working conditions.
Yeah.
And
$1
iPhones.
a week.
Yeah.
Well, all the mysterious calls come from there.
They
Oh,
do,
right,
they do, yeah.
You know, zip.
Oh no,
this
it's not.
This
Not
is
him out.
priceless.
It's like he's hit him off
smacks him
the
into
panel.
the sky. Yeah. It goes after.
I back. Holy moly.
That was his main.
Oh, he's
yelling
lost
phrase.
his knickers.
Oh dear, what's
he
he
has.
doing?
He's lost his underwear here.
Yeah. He hit him so hard. It
Pants getting
threw off his underwear. He just like he went straight up and his underwear just stayed there. Now that's a panel I'd like to have seen.
Then Popeye would have sued him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now Iback comes in. It's the main
Who's
villain.
that? He's like,
Iback.
is he the original Bane?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look.
I have a rocket and I'm not
What
afraid
is
to
it?
use it. Boom.
Like,
What
he's
is it, a
wandering around
rocket?
with no shirt and a leather belt that must chafe his nipples.
Yeah.
That can't be a good thing.
That's why it's called Nippo.
Oh, God. No nip.
No, this
No
is
nips.
Iback. This isn't Nippo. That comes
I
in
know.
later. Yeah. Anyway.
Please hit him with that piece of.
This is absolutely
I
stupid.
guess you don't remember the old days. Pow! Off he goes.
Oh, look at that. And look
It's
what
beating
falls
me
out.
up.
A bad egg. Oh, dear.
Curse your soul.
It's just so fun.
Yeah.
Guess you've forgotten how powerful I am, Captain Marvel. I'll smash your brains in with this 10-ton hunk of metal with this tree over your head.
Yeah.
The
Smacks him.
tree, yeah.
And he goes, tisk, tisk. I guess you don't remember the old days.
Oh,
And how often I knock the stuffings out of you.
What's he doing? What's he doing on that panel there, Captain Marvel? What's he doing behind him?
Here or here, you mean?
No, on the next panel. What's he doing? He's hitting. Look
Yeah,
at look what's happening. I know, but look what's. Never mind.
Oh, you mean he poofs back?
Yeah.
That's not in color. It's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gas.
That's gas.
I mean, haven't you ever hit someone so hard you farted?
No.
You haven't?
No.
And you're doing it wrong, Glenn.
Yeah,
you're
you're
doing it
not
wrong.
hitting
Well, I don't
someone
go
hard.
around hitting people, Luke. So
There you go.
I do when I
that's
need to fart.
I didn't realize that was a uniquely American thing.
well, look at the world and you'll see.
I guess you're right. Touche.
These places need some peace. This is fantastic. Look at this.
This is bonkers.
Haha, I'm safe. He's leaving.
Gone.
Look at the tiptoeing.
Got away from me. Yeah. He's tiptoeing.
It's brilliant.
Oh, dear. This is fantastic.
But look, without motion or multiple panels,
Yeah.
we don't tiptoe away normally. But you know what's happening. He's trying to sneak away.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah.
It's
I get
so
it. It's perfect.
obviously cartoonish, isn't it? It's great.
Well, you know, Captain Marvel's flown back to America because there's a flag.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Or somewhere around there.
An American
Yeah,
camp.
back to a base in North America. Says Shazam, changes back to Billy Bats and talks to the soldiers for a little bit. Yeah, the Empire State Building is still standing. The girls are still pretty. No, they haven't stopped Big League Baseball. Yes.
Jive.
Still,
Jive.
Jive is still popular.
popular. Gosh, I'm running out of breath. Yeah.
Stop talking.
Look at those flames.
They're like, woof.
He'd burn to death, that guy there next to the fire, wouldn't he?
Big fire to keep everybody warm.
Very naive, isn't it? The art.
Oh, it's wonderful, isn't it? I wonder how long it took to draw these pages.
About 10 minutes.
They're probably kicking them out pretty quick.
I bet it took them a lot longer to letter it. There's a lot going on in that.
Yeah.
Word balloons. Jeez, look at that. Marvel is on the job.
It's receiving instructions from Mr. Mind.
Holy moly, sunky print whistle on the prow.
He says his magic word and changes back to his human form, which is, what's his name? Print Whistle?
Yeah.
Blinky Print Whistle. Yeah.
Blinky Print, what?
They recognize each other and say their magic words. Yeah. But Billy Batson, unable to sleep.
This is like Life of Brian. Look at that bottom left-hand panel. He says, "Yes, mister, but how will we start?" You know, when he drops his sandal. How shall we? Whatever he says, you know.
How shall we start? Yeah.
It's a sign. No, it's not a sign. It's a sandal. It's a sign that it's a sandal. It's been a naughty boy.
Well, it's brilliant, isn't it?
Sam, play back. One big boom.
Look at that.
It's the two of them meet.
Bang. Just spanked him straight in the face. It's great.
I love the way it says, "I'll run him down with this truck." You know, they keep explaining, what's going on.
Yeah, it's like he's hit him with a massive piece of metal and he just laughed at him. So he thinks, "Oh no, I'll drive a truck into him. That'll have a different effect." No, it's like, stop doing the same thing and expecting different outcomes. That's madness.
He pops out with the steering wheel at least.
Yeah.
Huh? So he does the smart thing, runs away.
Yeah.
That's always a smart thing to do.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel runs after him, then runs through a tree.
Right.
Look at this. He says, Captain Marvel, what's up? He says, "This document would have sent you all to the south tomorrow, south into the Sahara Desert, where you would have all died of heat and thirst." Captain Marvel, skip it, sir. This is absolutely fantastic. I bet they had a real ball doing this.
Oh dear. You can just, this really is just making shit up, isn't it? It's great.
Not this time, Twinkle Toes.
No thought for the plants, no thought for the earth. Just like straight through the middle of the tree.
Slung before ecology.
Yeah.
What? Meanwhile, there's a bunch of elephants.
They're all asleep. Squeal.
I thought they were in America, but I could be wrong.
No. You got elephants in America, haven't you?
In zoos?
No. We couldn't even keep camels here. What are you talking about?
Well, since when do elephants go oompa oompa sticky toopy jumper?
They're oompa loompa elephants.
Yeah.
Oompa.
What will they think of next?
Are they talking? Sometimes they talk on this world.
Nelly the elephant back to trunk.
That's great. Not only still alive, but kicking.
That's a great kick.
Yeah.
Marvel, as usual, is unharmed.
As usual.
As usual.
As usual.
If it's as usual, you didn't really need to put the caption in.
Yeah. And who says horrors? Horrors, who's still alive?
Horrors, he's still alive.
You can imagine them all speaking actually in that mid-Atlantic accent that was in all the films at the time.
Yeah. Not only still alive, but kicking.
Oh, he's still alive, but kicking. Oof.
Like a football.
Yeah, I quit. He says, "Fight back. Listen to Mr. Mind. That's all I've been doing. I quit." Oh, okay.
I'm tired.
Oh,
you guys are, that idea of like the muscle gets tired of doing all the fighting.
I like the way it's making him look in a different direction at the bottom. Just quick, look that way. Look at that big cat over there. Look at that big monkey up at the top of that tree, top of that Empire State Building. Look.
He's getting his instructions from the radio here.
Is he called S. Linky? because the S is always away from
Slinky.
I know it's Slinky, but there's a gap,
Slinky.
isn't there?
No, it's
it should
Slinky.
be.
It's just bad kerning.
Yeah, but it's only on that word. It's on twice.
Is that Slinky is against Sunky?
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Maybe he was called Plunky and they had to go through and erase it and put an S in it.
Plunky.
Slinky. Slinky.
Oh, dear.
It's amazing that they printed anything with an L and an I close together.
Yeah.
Like that, because that's, at least at National Periodicals, they had a big rule about never using the word flick in their comics.
Oh, wow.
Because the L and the I would blend together into a U.
Oh, yeah. Hey, in the 1940s, did anybody know that word, though?
Oh, yeah. No, they did.
They knew it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. We watched this show. It was called The History of Cuss Words.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's an interesting.
And it was very interesting. And that word has been around for a very long time.
It's like a medieval word or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's quite funny and informative. Yeah.
Look at that. Bah. I'll best you yet, Captain Marvel. Bah. Bah.
Bah.
Ah.
You know what I think when I read this book? Wee!
Yeah.
It's making me wee.
Quick whistle. Now's your chance. Say your word and impress this savage with your magic.
I'm back.
The savages with your
Isn't
magic.
is that a precursor to Arnold Schwarzenegger? I'm back.
There are African savages here in the background.
Ah, right. Okay. It comes in an inappropriate moment.
Look, savages.
So, of
Oh,
course.
no, he's put him in a pot.
Look at them bowing down.
Why would he Shazam himself into Billy
Pot. Yeah.
while the other big guy is standing there right next to him?
No idea.
Why would you
Must
do
not
that?
have seen him.
Holy moly.
I don't want to. What is that? Battle here? Innocent lives. Innocent natives.
Yeah.
I don't want to battle these innocent natives. So I'll just impress them with my magic. Shazam! Boom! Ha! You're Billy. I'm gonna shut your mouth and throw you into a pot.
Look how they were bowing down to him 2 panels, and now they're looking forward to dinner.
Yeah,
they're fickle, aren't they? Those
Fickle.
savage guys
Fickle.
with the bones in their head.
Fickle.
Fickle.
Oh my
There's
god!
some more inappropriate imagery coming.
These chapters were in each consecutive issues of Captain Marvel. So here's chapter 3, the second Pearl Harbor. We'll get into some other inappropriate stereotypes. Bone in the hair.
Look at that. Look at him licking his lips. That guy. He's licking his lips. That guy at the bottom.
Yeah.
He is. He's thinking.
Who drew this? Scott Adams?
No, this is long before Adams. Yeah,
That was a relevant joke, right?
this is back when this kind of stuff was considered normal. Yeah.
Look at the guy with his chef's hat on.
He's got chef's hat on.
What the hell? Dinner's gone.
And he's a bit. Have you noticed how he's a bit tubby as well? Because he always, because he's the chef, he always has enough to eat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, pals, you can find a delicatessen around the corner. Our dinner, him fly away.
That's what he says too.
Yeah, maybe him sore about something. Yeah, being put in a pot, probably. The next guy's got no upper lip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does. Just
Just got teeth.
Straight to the stash.
At the last impossible instant of time, the plucky Billy jerks his head aside, and the slashing instrument of death slices his gag away. Convenient, yes. Always.
Oh, so he can't think Shazam. He has to say the word out loud.
Yeah, he has to say it out loud. So they just shut him up by stuffing, covering his mouth or
Put a gag in his mouth.
Yeah. So Billy's always being tortured.
So they're always torturing the child?
Yeah.
I'm near Hawaii now.
And this is Nippo.
Look at that chairs on that aeroplane.
Yeah.
Seats on there. Look at it.
Even back then, they were crowded. Yeah.
There's lots of room there, though, in that one.
There's only 3.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, there's tons of room. They've just got 3 of them slammed together as close as they can get them.
I'll give America its final blow.
Yes, gunners. We're to shoot down an American plane.
Oh dear, this is incredible. I'm telling you, this is the best thing I've ever seen. I want this. It's wonderful.
Clouds of Hawaii, American plane is ambushed. The American plane. Shoot down. We have shot it down and land beside the wreckage. Yeah. They're all dead. Commanding officer is dead. Yes, and you, Nippo, will take his place. Use the rubber face mask, which I had you bring along. How convenient. Can't go anywhere without your rubber face mask.
Oh, dear. Have you seen or heard of a Jap named Nippo around here? That snake? No, Captain Marvel. He knows who he is, but he don't know where he is. Oh, dear. I've been over the South Pacific. The only spot now is left is Pearl Harbor. Oh, that's good. Daddy, I'm so glad you're back safely.
Placement, yeah.
Oh, look at
I didn't hear your plane come in. Yes. Now don't bother me. I'm busy.
Daddy, you put on weight since you went away.
Let me hand it.
Oh, there's a word that we didn't use until very recently. Furlough.
Clammy? What? Furlough?
Furlough, yeah.
Furlough.
For a week's furlough. They deserve it.
I'd never heard of the word until 2 years ago.
You're a wretch. Yeah, they use that all the time in World War II.
All right.
You got to watch more. You got to watch more old movies.
Oh, I've got to. He's a rather lumpy gentleman, isn't he?
He is. I love the information they're giving. Like the girl at the bottom, where your thumb is on the bottom panel there. It says headquarters, Pearl Harbor. You know, like you'd forgotten.
Yeah.
Why has he got 2 hats?
You wretch.
He's got a hat on the table.
You're not the commanding officer here.
Yeah.
You're a Jap spy.
And he's got a hat on. Why has he got a spare hat? What's that all about?
Well, maybe he just. Maybe that one was. Maybe that one was already there when he came in because he's only. He's pretending, isn't he?
Somebody else has left it there.
He's thinking,
maybe it's that. Yeah.
Oh, nice throw there. Look at that. Oof.
Yeah. Have it.
Thank heaven, saved me. She just threw the guy.
You did it yourself.
Yeah.
Put a stiletto in his eye when you're getting down here.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel.
Yulps, Captain Marvel.
Remember an important engagement elsewhere.
Look at that. That's a Jap spy made to look like my father, the CEO here. Wait.
Yeah. He's never going through that window.
Yeah, Jap spies are my dish.
He's never going to fit.
Well, he's going to make him.
I did.
Why did I leave Tokyo?
Jesus.
Why did he ever leave Tokyo?
Man, this is fantastic. Look at that.
Oh, he decided not to.
Punched him for a loop.
Punched him through the wall instead, through the door instead.
Yeah,
Two-faced yellow sneak.
He gets a little kiss.
Honourable owl. What's all that about? Honourable owl. Bam! Hey, that's a punch, isn't it? That bam.
That is so ignorant.
I'm going to thrash your yellow hide, black and blue. This is absolutely so un-PC. It's just brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah. Sign of the times.
I'm sunk. What do I do now, Mr. Mind? What?
So is Billy Batson a completely different person to Shazam?
Yeah, it's like in New Gods when they all turn into whatever they turn into, isn't it?
Because I've never read any Shazam or Captain Marvel, so I don't really know. And the film, he was the same person, just with a different body.
Mm-hmm.
So is this more like Captain Marvel and Rick Jones, where they're 2 separate people?
More or less, Billy knows what Captain Marvel's doing while he's doing it, but they don't communicate back.
But he's not him.
No, I don't think so.
It's not his persona, just in a bigger body.
Because the Shazam is actually an acronym for all of these different powers from the gods that he got gifted from the
Hercules and all that stuff.
And one of those is the Z, I think, is the wisdom of Zeus.
Yes,
so he's smart while he's Captain Marvel, but he's Billy Batson while he's
right. So he is the same person.
It's a bit like Joe 90, isn't it?
So he is the same person.
I would think so, but they can't. They don't communicate to each other. Yeah.
No, but if he wouldn't need to communicate to him if he's the same person.
Yeah.
So you've got Billy Batson who's 14 and Captain Marvel who's 30.
Yeah, but in the film, so like for instance, in the film, I understand this is all derivative and this came first. I'm just trying to understand the character. In the film, it's like Big, Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
It's a little boy inside a big body.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But this a little boy inside a big body plus a bit of wisdom thrown in?
Yeah.
Or is it a different person?
No, that's kind of a new invention that they brought in the like 90s or 2000s once they owned the character.
What, that it was a different person?
No, that it was the same person. That
same
Captain
person.
Marvel is just a boy, only larger.
Right.
Because Captain Marvel was always your typical superhero character.
So the boy is not Captain Marvel. He turns into Captain Marvel.
He turns into Captain Marvel, yeah.
Right. It's like Joe 90, isn't it, when he used to get those things and be a secret agent. But that was always the boy.
But he was still Joe 90.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is Shazam or is Captain Marvel Billy?
Grown up. No, I don't think it is. I think it's a different entity.
It's a separate entity.
It's like I said about the New Gods with the Infinity Man or whatever it's called. They all join together.
So they all know what the Infinity Man is doing.
So it's more like a swap of personality. So it's like Rick Jones and Captain Marvel.
Only you don't get to see that physically happen. Yeah.
When Captain Marvel was in the room, as it were, Rick Jones was in the ether, the negative zone, or whatever.
Negative zone.
Yeah.
Okay. But they were two separate. That's my question. Is Billy and Captain Marvel the same? Is Captain Marvel Billy augmented mentally and physically?
I'd say no.
Captain Marvel a separate person?
Here I would say yes, but he keeps his personality in the 90s and 2000s. I think that's a Geoff Johns, Johns hook. Yeah.
So the reboot is it's the same person in a bigger body.
Yeah.
An augmented version of that character. Right. Okay. Whereas the original was two separate entities.
Pretty much, I would say.
Right. Okay. Sorry, just wanted to clear that up.
No, it's important. Yeah, it's a good point.
It's a funny book.
But it's
still important to understand. It's still important to understand.
Only though. So.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, in this story, there's no talkie Tawny. So you don't get to see the talking tiger, but there is an alligator coming up. So. Anyway.
Right.
Just to add to the whimsy.
Look at that. We can't land there, too risky. You don't have to land, I'll just jump out. What? And kill yourself? Use this parachute, Billy. Not don't go.
No.
Just put this on. And what if it doesn't open? Oh, well.
Yeah, I'll be all right.
Well, they did that at the end of the first Shazam movie. He jumps off a building, yells Shazam, turns into Captain Marvel, and flies off.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I actually liked that film. I did.
Yeah,
it was
good for what they had.
Yeah, I thought it was genuine entertainment. That's all it was. It was just entertainment.
Yeah,
she's thought anything he can do, I can do better because she's followed him in the parachute as well. Yeah. Dad, you're alive. I seem to be. I like my coat. I look like your mother in this coat. I'm not a cross-dresser.
I never knew what I saw in her.
Nippo's still getting instructions from the radio.
What are those coming down? Coconuts? An earthquake?
Those are those black pearls, I think.
Oh, right.
Those coconuts. Those are coconuts. Suddenly, as if to answer, the ground under them trembles. An earthquake. That's got to be coconuts.
I tell you what, it's really smart, isn't it? The ground. Imagine if you're walking down the street and all the buildings started to fall around you. And he says, if you ask me, that dead volcano is coming to life. If you're walking down the street, you think it was an earthquake.
Could that be plan two? Is Nupo around here? Sure enough, the Japs are setting up an explosive charge there in the crater.
Isn't that a great thing to do when the volcano's starting to erupt, go down into it and set an explosive charge? What a brilliant idea.
All is ready, Mr. Mine. Tests showed life still in volcano. Good, Nippo. The explosives will make an eruption that will bury Pearl Harbor under molten lava. Ha 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 ha. Plan 2 is foolproof. What is it? Marvel proof? Captain Marvel.
Oh dear.
Oh, he's got to throw them into the volcano. He has to do that. Let's see what happens. He's got to do that.
This has given me palpitations.
Biff bang sock.
I think he does. He smacks them into the volcano.
Yeah, good.
Oh, one guy runs off them.
Yeah, well, he would.
Swish.
They're all flakes, aren't they? They can't stand and fight. Like that Captain Nazi guy didn't do a lot, did he? Set tied behind everybody.
That's Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Could flick his finger and send your nose.
There you go. Like the coward he is, he's slipped away again.
He's just booted him into the volcano.
Crater with a human bomb. Hell. Holy moly.
Holy moly.
What's that panel there? I can't read it at the bottom there.
Here?
Sit down. Yeah, plunge. Oh,
down into the crater. Plunge the two helpless humans loaded with explosives that will awaken the terrible volcano fires and destroy Pearl Harbor. But with comet speed, Captain Marvel cancels the fiendish plan.
Oh no.
Ooh, look at that next panel. What he calls him there.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
You either fly us to safety or you'll blow up too. Will do. The small autogyro plane can barely lift the combined weight, and danger threatens at the crater's edge. Oh, we're gonna strike. I'll pull you up there. We'll clear it by inches. Look, nip, old boy. Oh me, oh my. Oh whoa. You know how close to death. How close I was to death. I gotta take these black pearls and also this hot air unit.
Look at that. Can't save them.
Don't let Captain Marvel take the pearls. Take the black pearls, Nippo. Fight him back, you fool. Nippo is taking a trip, Mr. Mine, and he knocks him into the volcano. Yeah, there he goes.
Look at that. That's a game. Bruce Lee couldn't do that.
Does he punt him? What does he do?
He's kicking him,
I think his foot is up because he's punched him so hard.
He's punched him, yeah. Bam.
He's whacked him. Whacked him up there.
I didn't know there was a volcano on Pearl Harbor, on Hawaii.
Oh, yeah.
There's a volcano on the Big Island, isn't there?
He had a big one go off just the last year or so.
Yeah, I mean at Pearl Harbor, I didn't know there was one near there.
Oh, you know.
Yeah.
It's a comic.
Yeah.
More black pearl mess, more.
Went to Hawaii on my honeymoon.
Oh, wow.
Oh, cool. Good for you.
Saw Pearl Harbor. I didn't go down into it, just like drove past it.
There's
Pearl down.
Sorry?
Why didn't you go down?
Oh, it was just when I drove around the island. We rented a car and just drove around the island and spent most of the time on beaches without anybody there. It was quite nice.
That's sweet.
We did San Francisco and then Hawaii.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Chapter 4, Glaciers over America.
Wow.
We're going to need to move faster on this if we're going to get through most of it.
Yeah, you're going to need to flick through it, yeah.
This is a...
Glaciers, he bats a hole through it to Savannah and his evil plans.
What are those black things?
Holes.
They're holes. Oh, right.
Smacking holes.
So he's just
Eventually, it'll
swimming
look like
through.
big Swiss cheese. Yeah.
Big
Cheese.
Swiss cheese. Look at that. You can serve iced tea. There's all the cracked ice you need.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel, we might have known it was you.
All that, all that ice, give it away.
I like that little the breath.
Yeah,
that's quite a good effect, isn't it? The breath.
There's no doubt it's part of Mr. Mind's plan.
No doubt. Is Mr. Mind? Is that the bald fella?
No, that's Dr. Savannah.
No, he's the mad scientist, isn't he?
You'll see who Mr. Mind is as we go along. It's all fun.
I've got an idea who it is. Does he have a mustache?
Does he have a mustache?
No.
I reckon it's the nurse.
No, he goes through all of these trials and errors. You'll see it coming up. It's part of the story. It's a big part of the story.
Right.
When you find out who he is, he's dealing with the glaciers here right now, and Dr. Savannah and Black Pearls have something to do with it. It's a crash.
Look at him coming down that mountain with those snowshoes on.
Superman's Fortress of Solitude. Screw that. Boom.
Oops, I'm sliding. I'm not surprised with those shoes on.
Story hasn't been.
Did they have black gutters, or has that been done?
This is part for the addition here to make the color pop up. You don't see that off yellow newsprint look that you would have on this.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, they tried to preserve the color on this as much as possible.
They like these backside shots, don't they? These American artists. We saw one of those with Walt Simonson earlier, didn't we?
I like the fact that he's quite chunky.
Yeah.
He's not like all up the top and then skinny waisted.
Yeah, he's not ripped, is he?
No, he's a big lad.
Yeah, it's like a linebacker.
Yeah.
What's this back when barrel chest was more of a sign of strength than muscle definition and stuff?
Yeah,
remember
like Mr. Universe type of thing.
What's his name? Superman was drawn a lot like this during this period.
Yeah,
where he was very barrel chested.
But they still had muscles, defined muscles. It's just that they weren't all skinny down.
Yeah, if you look at Adam West and Captain Kirk, they were the same. They look a bit chunky, don't they? But they're
I look back now, and Captain Kirk does not look fat at all.
No,
or a girdle.
No, and in fact, even Adam West, really isn't fat.
You can see his ribs underneath, can't you? You can see that he's got a flat stomach and everything.
But early on, Shatner was wearing Spanx.
Oh, right.
That stomach.
Was he?
I think you're being harsh, Randy.
Yeah, you can see it if you look.
Look at him climbing up the side of the panel there at the bottom. That's great. The other side, he's climbed. The bad guy's got up the far. Keep going.
On the bottom left.
The bottom left there. Can you see climbing up? That's brilliant, isn't it?
Getting out of there. Of course, he has to change to Billy every episode. Billy gets a bunch of water spilled on him. He's frozen. Frozen until next issue.
We all know that's the way
it works. Look at that. Imagine walking through that town. This is Billy Batson, who froze to death in 1943. Is Billy dead? No, he's not. The Monster Society of Evil.
They look like monsters from here.
Yeah.
Chapter 5, Marvel meets Mr. Mind.
It's the showdown we've been waiting for.
For 5 issues. 5 issues.
It's a thrilling. I like the way they tell you it's a thrilling serial. There you go. Need to be reminded.
Yeah.
This is in the midst of a bunch of other Captain Marvel stories and Captain Marvel Adventures magazine.
It's just you look back a lot, across the decades, and how messaging is so changed now.
Mm-hmm.
You used to be able to see a message was literally like this: thrilling serial, or buy this now, or whatever it might be. And that's kind of gone now. That nothing is obvious anymore. Everything is done sort of in between the margins.
Yeah, it's like the spinner racks that said, "Hey kids, comics."
Yeah. I'm always I'm always amazed by advertising. It's like it seems that every piece of advertising now is a lifestyle. Buy this car; it'll make your life better. No, it won't. It'll get me to where I want to get to. It's a car.
It'll get you in debt.
Yeah. Go to the McDonald's. It'll make your family happy. I tell you what. Why don't you stuff off?
Yeah.
Billy is saved by a bear, not even a polar bear, but a bear.
Yeah,
it's a confused bear. The bear has got question marks, just like Billy has got question marks. Billy's questioning his situation, and the bear is questioning its environment and its reality.
Yeah.
Sorry, old fellow, but chewing my arm won't do your teeth a bit of good.
But he'll have a go anyway.
Yeah, well, it's a bear, isn't it?
Just going to give it a shot.
The bear's having a sob.
So long, pal. Maybe you can find another meal somewhere. Good luck, you starving bear.
Sob.
Now, where do I stand with that?
Look at the moon then. The moon's small. Or is that city big?
Where are we talking?
Is that supposed to be the moon?
On the right, yeah.
The building's kind of...
Oh, near the moon. Near the moon.
Strange space habitation.
Oh, it's like an asteroid or something.
Being of the universe. Let's just hang out. Seems to be a dark, unknown world.
So he doesn't
out near the moon.
Oxygen.
Yeah.
This is a dark, unknown world out near the moon. So
that must be the moon, that black thing there.
I didn't know he could breathe in space. That's cool.
He just holds his breath.
Yeah, perhaps he's just got really big lungs.
It's magic. Where do I stand with that rat, Mr. Mind? I stopped Savannah changing the Earth's poles. I have the 2 pearls. But what's Mr. Mind going to cook up next? So I'll just take the black pearls over to him because I found a secret hideout on a little planetoid next to the moon. World's mightiest man against the most evil mind in the universe. How will this greatest of all struggles come out? Comes out to a giant door, of course.
Look at that. Is it a comet? No, it's Captain Marvel. Oh, dear.
Beware, keep out, especially Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Damn it, he can't read. The biggest tank on Earth at top speed would only crumple up against this door like paper. But I'm not a tank.
Is he beating up a goat?
Why, even a battleship couldn't knock this door down. And how are you going to get in, puny mortal? Ha 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 ha. Are you kidding me? I'm already in.
What?
I've come up to another radio and a goat.
Of course.
Billy Goat.
I would expect a goat to be the radio operator.
And a human.
Yeah, and if you ever see a goat, they shout, let me go, you ruffian.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very polite goat.
Now he's calling him a communist, a ruffian.
A communist?
The joke, a ruffian, Russian.
Oh, right.
Come on, keep up.
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
One little blow did it. Holy moly, this was easy. I've already defeated Mr. Mind.
No, it's a goat.
That's not Mr. Mind. Oh, you have you? Ha 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 ha. There was a
bloody goat.
That was but a trick, simpleton. You've only defeated one of my minions. Ha ha ha.
He's a goat.
Hey, a minute ago, this goat man spoke with Mr. Mind's voice. Now Mr. Mind's voice comes from somewhere else.
God, he's he's throwing his voice as well.
Yeah, he spends months tracking him down.
Yeah, brilliant.
How does one learn to throw their voice?
A giant squid. Huh?
How does one learn to throw their voice?
You catch it, you toss it.
I mean, everyone seems to be able to do that in those old comics.
Yeah.
TV shows.
Well, remember, Charlie McCarthy was really hot back during this period. So.
Right.
He's put the robot into a pretzel. Oh, the octopus head. I bet he's popular at parties.
Fool. I was not the robot either. Holy moly. That's voices coming from another place.
That's Mr. Harrison.
Octopus man.
Mrs. Harrison will be livid.
I've got you, my friend.
Splosh.
Captain Marvel was
Look at his face.
As reserves of strength beyond compare, and that's the finish of you, Mr. Mind.
Splosh. What's the splosh? Is that the top of his head caving in? That's hideous.
Yeah, because he's an octopus. Yes.
Hey, look behind. Look, he's there in the bottom left-hand panel. He's behind him. His head's been caved in.
That is,
that's quite violent.
Mind.
Yeah.
But he wasn't. Don't you understand, idiot? And these are all various synthetic forms I projected my mind into. I myself, the true Mr. Mind, can never be caught. You'll never guess my true form. Ha 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 ha. That's it.
He likes to laugh, doesn't he?
At will. But somewhere in this place is the real Mr. Mind, and maybe Billy can find it where I didn't. Boom. That was smart. We may be threatened by another evil at any time. Guess I'll change back to Billy.
See, that proves he's a different entity, because he wouldn't say change back to Billy, would he?
Yeah. I'll change back into Billy form.
Into myself. Yeah.
So Billy's just walking down the hall.
As you do.
This place is wormy.
I can hear the Bee Gees singing as he's walking there.
Yeah. Worm dropped on my shoulder.
Oh dear.
That's Mr. Mind. It's the worm.
It's Mr. Mind.
You ever seen a worm with big eyes like that and a thing around its neck?
But they've seen
glasses and the radio.
That's got to be Mr. Mind, doesn't it?
What does that say? Shack.
Well, if you were watching our overlay that we ran.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh, no.
No, not that one. That's Old Farts. Old Farts Talking Comics.
See what he's saying there, Russ?
Which one?
Middle center panel where he's got his hand around his head.
Oh, no. Shag. I'm a bit concerned with that bottom left-hand panel. Looks like a scene down at the flower pot.
Oh dear! Holy moly!
It's this one. That's Mr. Mind.
Oh right, okay, it's giving it away.
Got it.
Oh, it was the worm.
Shazam! Bam!
Oh wow!
Just keep his mouth shut. Keep his mouth shut.
Why is this guy only got
Now
his
we're going to
knickers
gas
on?
him.
Why is he wandering around in just his knickers? Has he been swimming?
Probably.
No, that's what those. See, that was the thing about back then in the 40s. That was like a typical strongman kind of outfit.
He just wandered around in a pair of pants.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, showing off his physique. Yeah.
Check me out. Rawr.
Before the anesthetic.
It was also to draw attention to his virility, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm no cream puff.
Check that moustache out. That's a hell of a moustache he's got going on there.
There's no bricks for the hole, is there? You know, like you imagine the bricks coming out.
No, that's a big plaster wall, so that'd be
No, you know,
concrete, I don't know.
drawing comics these days. It's so hard. I drew a guy going through a wall, and I just had to think about where all the bricks were going, and the momentum of the body, and how it looked in the panel. These guys now just put a jagged line up. It'll be fine.
I'll crash. Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Just a hole.
No rubble, no nothing.
No. Oh, I've just had an email to say that minifigs are back. Minifigs.
Is that a biscuit over there?
Don't know.
Who's
I've
that
just
the
seen the
wife?
title. Minifigs. Minifigs are back in pod form. Yeah.
Great.
So he knocks him out of the atmosphere all the way across here.
I know.
He smacks him real hard. Oh, that's this disaster porn they got Man of Steel from, isn't it?
Wumpo.
Man, crap.
And it takes a head
Look
bump.
at that. Look at that.
Rump.
Oh, dear.
They end up butting heads. The victor, Captain Marvel.
Can hear the Tweety birds.
Yeah.
Puff, puff, what a tussle. For a while, I thought it would take weeks to stretch him out like that.
Stars going around his head.
Yeah.
Actually, Stretch Armstrong, just to get to use his power.
Brilliant.
Stretch him out like that.
Right. He's put boots on him now.
Yeah.
Suddenly the guy's got boots on the left-hand panel. He didn't have boots on before.
And I'm here.
He's got them going through the wall.
He didn't have them in the previous page. No boots.
No boots, yeah. So he put his boots on.
Yep.
To
so he whacked him through and then popped his boots on. Just like, hold on a minute. If I'm going to go out into an airless environment, let's pop my boots on.
This is obviously the next day when they started drawing again, isn't it?
Yeah, it's woken up in the morning and gone, did I put boots on him? Oh, yeah, I'll just stick some
It's
boots.
like in a film when the continuity's out, isn't it? When you can tell it's 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
Because the positions are different.
Yeah, Game of Thrones, and they've left their Starbucks on the side. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You'll just digitally remove it. Great spaceship. Look at that.
Look at that.
That's the Flash Gordon spaceship.
Yeah.
There is.
He
still doesn't know.
Oh, no.
Holy mackerel. He did give me the slip.
Mackerel.
I'd better get back to Earth with myself and be on guard against Mr. Mind, but I'd give my right arm to know one thing. Who or what was Mr. Mind all the time? Anyway, Mr. Mind on Earth. He's flying back.
I better get back.
Mr. Mind threatened to show up on Earth next. I'd better get back. No clouds on Earth today.
No, it's a nice day.
Yeah, it's nice. Gets back, boom, changes. And now in the serial, we see the first appearance of Steamboat.
Right. Yeah.
Which is up on the roof. Helping Billy. He's working on a garden.
That is, I mean, if you look at that, that is a hideous representation.
Mr. Billy.
It is.
Oh boy.
And
it is hideous.
Even back then, Steamboat became historically famous because he had a whole lot of fan response, especially from the African American community. He was a big character for Captain Marvel for quite a while.
The thing is like look at that
oh damn,
that cover there, and we were talking about the style of Captain Marvel and how he, his anatomy and all the rest of it, and actually the picture of Captain Marvel, that's got a little bit of the golden age about it. He's starting to look quite real there.
Yeah.
But his sidekick, Steamboat, Steamboat is a complete racial caricature.
Yeah.
Even though his body is real,
yes,
his face is this hideous caricature.
Cartoons,
and you've got to be thinking, okay, I can understand times were different and all the rest of it, but how could you be sitting there feeling comfortable about drawing it that way?
Well, it just so happens that this is the first character that was canceled due to fan reaction.
Really?
Well, there you go.
Oh.
Well, he wasn't a villain, though, was he?
No, he was he was a regular sidekick character.
You said
much
villain
like
up at the top there.
Did I?
No, the Negro villain.
Oh yeah, it does. And well, that's a sensationalized headline, like you're a typical media.
Yes. Yeah, it's like some right wing view of the fact that it's been.
Don't they call it clickbait now?
Yeah. But I mean, it should. It's right that it should be. He should look like a black person, not like some hideous caricature.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially seeing as you can see that. I mean, it's not like it's all. I mean, again, it's not an excuse when we saw that bit earlier where they had the natives or whatever.
Yeah.
Not saying that was appropriate either. That was hideous as well. Right. But the general standard of the artwork was quite naive in itself.
Yeah.
Okay. And so it wasn't as juxtapositioning as it should have been. Yeah. But when you look at that cover with a very well drawn anatomy and composition, and then you see his head sitting on top of it, that absolutely screams at you.
Yeah. Yep. Well, it screamed at a lot of people. So
I'm surprised that Disney didn't say something about this Steamboat thing. Steamboat Willie.
Oh no, they don't own the name Steamboat. Steamboat's been going
No,
up and down the Mississippi.
I know that, but I'm just surprised that there wasn't something from it. Didn't they recently somebody try to copyright the word superhero?
Yeah,
that's a while ago.
That was quite a while ago. I don't think
Marvel and DC got involved in that,
yeah.
but I don't think they actually made it happen.
If you see the second paragraph there on that article, it says pictured as an ape-like creature with all of the coarse negroid features, including a southern drawl, Steamboat usurped a great portion of the comic book as villain of the story.
That's completely wrong.
The strip was fine. The youngsters all agreed, but such a character will go far to break down all that anti-bias groups are trying to establish. The crusade began at junior high school 120 in Manhattan.
Good on them.
But it's doing what newspapers do.
Sensationalize.
Obviously haven't looked at it.
No,
They've been told about it.
Yep. They've completely screwed the story up, haven't they?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
So the kids had a snappy comeback for everything. He said they pointed out that Steamboat was a Negro stereotype, tending to magnify race prejudice. And when Lieberson told them that white characters too were depicted in all sorts of ways for the sake of humor, the youth builders retorted that white characters were both heroes and villains, while Steamboat was a buffoon, was the only Negro in the strip. Lieberson was completely won over when one boy produced an enlarged portrait of Steamboat and said, "This is not the Negro race, but your 1.5 mil, probably your 1.5 million readers will assume it is." I'm sure
exactly. That's exactly the point. Is it's not about it's about being funny. You don't need to show them in that disfigured way in order to have a joke.
Yeah,
it's that was definitely a racist perception.
They consented, and the character was removed.
But it shouldn't have been removed. It should have been redrawn.
Yes,
that's very true.
That's
as
the
far
point.
as I know,
shouldn't have removed him.
They might have. They might have brought him back.
It's okay to make fun. That's important. We should all be able to make fun of each other for all kinds of different reasons, but we shouldn't be cruel. And that's what that is. It's a very cruel depiction, isn't it?
It is. Anyway, back to the strip. They're where are they at?
Wadhams.
The rocket has landed and released, and he's got a cosmic brain ray. They won't know how it works. They won't know that it was this ray that makes even lowly worms and termites do my bidding. Ha ha ha.
Look at that termite.
Hee hee ho ho.
Look at the termite. He's drrawling. It's that's like a child's drawing. It's hysterical.
It is. They're all hungry and eating, and crawling up through the soil.
What's that guy with the wings? What's going on there? In the center, those termites.
Here? That's a termite. Yeah,
that's a termite. So it's worms and termites.
Right.
Worms and termites. They're chewing away at the building. Billy sees there's a problem, jumps out as one of the buildings is tipping over, or has tipped over.
Oh no!
Shazam, boom!
It's the Leaning Tower of New York.
Turns it back upright. Yeah.
Is
They have to re-secure it, and here's this support timber. Looks like Swiss cheese.
Again.
Let me examine that beam more closely, will you? That whole beam's been eaten out. Damn it! Why
is this Billy Batson? Is it his secret identity? Because he says there it's about to crash. Signing off till later. Shazam! So if you were listening, you'd know that he was Captain Marvel.
No, that's his secret identity. Not very many people know. The big problem in the strip, though, is anybody whose name is Billy Batson ends up having the power if they know the word.
Oh, right.
That's why
that's unfortunate.
Did they forget to put the windows in that building?
Yeah, they did. They forgot to put them in. Yeah, but there's a set of Lieutenant Marvels. That's what they call them. That we see here.
All right.
All of those guys are all Billy Batson. They all get from different parts of the United States. They all get tracked down and told to say the word Shazam. They all turn into Marvels.
That's bonkers.
They're Lieutenant Marvels instead of Captain Marvel.
Well, they're being diverse, you see. They're giving everybody a chance.
Yeah.
It didn't look very diverse to me.
Oh, one kid's got red hair.
To me, either.
Yeah.
One kid's blonde, one kid's brunette, one kid's got red hair. Yeah.
Well, they kind of did that in the movie, didn't they? With his orphan family.
With the family, yeah. But
the redheaded kid's a black kid now, though, I think.
I just love that building, the tallest building in the world. It's only got 4 windows in it.
Yeah.
They forgot to put the windows in.
That's got to be dark inside there, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's got to be. I can't believe you're allowed to work in there.
Look at the size of the door, though.
That's a big door.
That is a big door. At least 2 stories tall.
Yeah.
It's got to be like, one of those massive doors, like on a temple or something.
Sure.
Yeah, you could drive a car into it. A truck.
I think it's so wonderfully naive, isn't it?
Yeah. That would describe it.
I think that to be fair, to give somebody the benefit of the doubt, I think the rendering of that steamboat guy, I think that's more naive than racist.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. They didn't.
Yeah.
The guys at at Fawcett didn't know that was racist until it was brought out to their attention.
But that's the point, isn't it? Is that ignorance is no excuse.
No, it still springs off of the minstrel shows, though. With
exactly what they're
in blackface. Yeah,
but that's the whole point of educating people as a whole. Is that they don't do something like that. Like you say, the guy's doing it. Think, well, I'm not a racist. I wouldn't put down a black person in the street. I wouldn't not offer a black person a job. I wouldn't not have a drink with a black person. And then they go and draw them like this.
I have friends that are black.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's because this is the part of people talk about woke and what have you. That's the part that is actually the right thing to be talking about.
Yeah.
It's that casual racism,
the cultural insensitivity.
Yep. That's the point.
See, and the other point is that it will never go away, because I know somebody who declared that they weren't racist because they lived next to an Asian family for 2 years.
Well, that's not racist.
That's just.
Did they move in next to them knowing, or was it the other way around?
I don't know. But
and they only stayed there for 2 years, which meant they moved out for some reason.
Yeah. No, it's it's a sticky thing. At the same time, people shouldn't be. They shouldn't be like nowadays it's cancelling, but you shouldn't be abused for fear or naivety. You should be just spoken to. You should just be educated. You should just be brought into the light, as it were.
But all these people who produce this will be dead now, won't they?
Yeah, that's right. They wouldn't know any different. But that's why it's important to see these things.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
So that when you have two sides arguing the point, saying this is ridiculous, there is no racism, or all these things point to the fact there isn't, and other people saying, yeah, it's terrible. There's loads of racism. It's like, no, do you know what? As with most things, it's kind of somewhere fuzzy in the middle, and things like this are a great education point to say, look, the guys that were drawing this didn't feel that they were racist, and yet there was still this underlying racism within the culture.
They didn't realize that they were purporting a racial stereotype. They cut it out as soon as it was brought to their attention.
Look how they've broken the rule of the word balloons in that center panel crossing over.
Oh dear. That's not good, is it?
Not really.
Where are we talking?
On the right page.
Right page, third panel.
Here?
That's just what a mess.
The tails, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a mess.
You can almost hear the cacophony, or whatever the word is.
Members of the Monster Society of Evil come in once they find out that he's back on Earth.
Are they all monsters?
Alligator.
Why the long face? Why the long face?
Cacophony. That was it. That was the word I was looking for. Cacophony.
Yeah.
The cacophony of people speaking. It's like it makes you confused just looking at those word balloons.
Mr. Mind, you're in that tiny ship, so that's the answer. You're a tiny being of some sort. That explains how you escape in space simply through being small. So what?
Space is really big.
Now you know, fool. We're going to Are you going to leave quietly? Leave nothing. Now that I know your secret, I'm going to nab you out of my way, thugs. Ugh, ugh. Get him, Stug.
Ugh, ugh.
Ugh, ugh.
Wow.
Oh, no, he didn't get to fight the crocodile man.
No, he grabbed him. He was going to squish the ship, but he gets away.
Yeah, but where's the crocodile guy gone?
He took off.
Oh, I was hoping that was going to be a whole sort of Spider-Man, the lizard kind of thing going on there.
Oh, that's a villain that's come in and out of Captain Marvel for many years. Yeah, you don't see him around anymore because he's a talking crocodile. What the heck?
We got the brat.
But the only one that's left in nowadays in Captain Marvel's universe is Talkie Tawny, and that's the talking tiger.
That's bad storytelling, isn't it? Where he's on the microphone there, then the next panel where it says suddenly 2 more Mr. Mind's minions appear. From where?
From out of nowhere. And then he's attacked by bugs. The bugs let him loose.
Oh no, the bugs.
Holy moly, ants. Attracted by that chocolate cake I was eating. They'll eat me alive unless, hooray, they ate the gag first. Shazam.
Oh, no.
They ate the gag.
They're all done. The gag's just gone. Yeah. They ate the gag first. Shazam.
Can hear them all marching like in the Tom and Jerry cartoons.
Yeah.
They're marching while you're having a picnic.
Well, you notice this trope, and I think they do it. I think they do it on purpose. They put Billy in these sticky situations, and then by some stupid chance, the gag is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also, Captain Marvel's been coming out for a long time at this point. So, how many situations can you put him in that he's bound up and gagged? And how many ways can you get it out of him or get it off of him without it being totally ridiculous?
But
Look at
that is
an
terrible.
apple left from my lunch. I better eat it. And he says it's wearing spectacles.
That is a terrible,
oh dear,
terribly racist
Yeah.
drawing.
It's awful, isn't it? And how long is it until Captain Marvel actually puts his foot down on the worm?
Well, we are an hour and 32 minutes in. Do you want to jump chapters?
Yeah.
Because I can show you the end of this.
I want to see the end.
He gets close to being stepped on here.
I'm impatient.
We'll just zoom through it faster. We'll stop at the better illustrations. Of course, the bird picks him up and starts flying off.
Hooray!
Still loose. Yeah.
Boom.
Haha, the fool, Captain Marvel, doesn't know the bird dropped me at my mental command just as he grabbed it. I'll fall unnoticed to the ground. Of course.
So this guy is Plankton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Plankton. This is
Not only that,
Plankton.
but he eludes him all the way through the rest of this book.
Wow.
That's a lot of eluding.
We're not even halfway through. Yeah, but in the meantime, there's Hitler. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And look at the submarine with the swastika on as well. Like no U-boat ever had that on.
Look at him standing there with his hip all out. It's
Check me out,
he's
everybody.
fancy.
Look at that. Wait, you fat fool.
Why are you here, Mr. Mind? What happened in America? Yeah.
Oh, right, so Mr. Mind's a Nazi. It's a Nazi worm.
Oh, of course, he's evil.
I didn't realise he was a Nazi worm.
Oh, he's got to be. He's evil. Yeah.
All right. Oh, look at that hideous picture of Hitler. Is that Goering or Goebbels?
Probably one of the other.
It's Goering, isn't it?
Goering.
And Hitler's obviously been eating that chocolate cake that the other guy's been eating.
Yeah. He's getting right into the chocolate
Yeah,
cake.
it's Herman Goering causing the fat
I would
fool on
imagine
the previous
it's
page.
probably Black Forest Gatto. Actually.
He's gonna
Yeah,
get
it's gotta be
by
on it,
ants
yeah.
any time now. Yeah.
Oh, I love me some Gatto.
Boom, boom.
Good,
Baroom.
good, Mr. Mind. You're a genius. Their sun will never rise again over their American swine.
Swine, God.
Yes, sir.
Oh dear.
Holy moly, Shazam! What?
What's the
going
booming?
on?
What's going on? Boom, boom. Shake the room.
The Earth's rotation on its axis is stopped. as the big guns act like a brake.
Wow.
According to the Superman movie,
powerful guns, space.
That would mean time would stop.
Somebody did a movie on that. Well, the Earth stops spinning, but the thing is, water doesn't stop going.
Sploosh.
Water's still rotating.
Well, that explains the flood then.
Yeah. No, that's what it is. Yeah. That's what they say. The 12,000 year catastrophe.
That's right. Was
the pole shifting 90 degrees, but the water kept spinning.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the whole geo. I can't remember the name of the. It's where they basically say the land sort of slips around.
Yeah, on the mantle.
Yeah, but
it's going to turn 90 degrees.
The ice age is now. They're now suggesting that the Younger Dryas, which is the 1,000-year mini ice age after the ice age ended, and then you had that massive flood, was down to the going through a broken comet, and we actually got hit multiple times as we orbited the sun.
Well, they say now that it was a mini nova.
And a mini nova. Yeah, is it Robert Schoch, who's the guy who came up with the stuff on the Sphinx, the weathering on the Sphinx. His suggestion is that we've had sun, whatever they are, solar flares.
There's a minor catastrophe every 6,000 years, a major catastrophe every 12,000 years.
Well, it's even sooner than that if you watch Netflix.
Look at that! Yeah. Look at that there. Achtung, everybody! You will now have daytime all the time. Get back to work. When do we sleep?
Yeah.
You don't sleep.
Yes, it's wonderful.
The sun will never rise again over America.
Daylight around the clock. Our crops this year will be doubled. It's such a happy Adolf.
Oh dear.
Happy guy.
God, this is awful. Look at what's he doing.
Oh, you get it restarted though. You know?
Oh, that's great. That pulling that chain.
Yeah, I love the chains. Yeah, that's great.
Knock them chains down.
What's he doing? Is he dancing or something?
Yeah, he's happy.
And now he's stopping the world turning.
Oh, yeah, the Mr. Mind slipped down into his uniform.
Oh, right, he's tickling him.
Yeah.
God.
Oh, dear me.
So, yeah, they got to pull out the big chains, knock down the big anchors so that we can start the rotation of the Earth again. Whoops, he's doing it. The world's starting to spin again. Remember that great Marvel team-up they had of Spider-Man and Hercules, where Hercules planted chains in the Isle of Manhattan in order to put it back right?
Yeah.
That's a great story. Huh. It sat there with that never happened. But it was cool. Anyway. Mr. Mind escapes in the end. Now it's time to fight the giant lobster. Crack. Battle at the China Wall. He goes everywhere in this story trying to track that man down.
There's a dragon.
There's a dragon.
The knuckle.
Right. What is that thing? Is that a massive ram? Is that like those massive rams from the screeching rams from Thor?
Yeah. All sorts of squid monsters and ram monsters. It's a ram buffalo, a ram elephant.
Ram buffalo.
Ramophalant. Yeah.
Ram buffalo.
A ramphalant. Ramflow. Yeah.
Ramflow. Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, here we go.
And of course, you can't go very long without your typical Asian stereotype.
Oh dear.
No. That's what the excuse was. It's like, what? We've racially stereotyped everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's not an excuse. Oh dear.
You're just going to drive up the China Wall. We know it's a China Wall because it's labeled.
China Wall.
China Wall. That's like something that Trump would say.
Yeah.
China Wall.
China Wall.
China.
Of course, the great hats. Look at that.
They all look the same.
I doubt this is C.C. Beck drawing here. This looks like rather hurried, slapped together type
He's
stuff.
probably thought, I can't do this, and run down the road to DC.
Well, he had a bunch of assistants that was working. No, he never did. The only time he worked at DC was in the 70s that I know of. He went on to do, let me see if I got the book here. Yeah, right here. C.C. Beck went on to create Fat Man, the Human Flying Saucer.
Well, so he, well, what can I say?
Which was a guy who turned into a superhero that turned into a flying saucer.
That was one of the literary greats.
Do you know, C.C. Beck could have drawn a strip for Beano, couldn't he? And that
he could.
Oh yeah, very much in that style too. Yeah,
yeah.
This was after they stopped Captain Marvel. It only ran for 3 issues, and the third one is incredibly valuable. It's rare.
Need to turn that page. Can't leave that on there.
Can't stare at that for much longer.
No.
They tie him up again. See how he gets out. He gets zapped. Holy moly, what a way to die. In a kind of electric chair. Ow, ow, I'm burning. But
burns the gag. It's always it's great because it's always a gag. Isn't it?
It's always the gag. Shazam, boom.
Nobody thought that maybe the magic should be if somebody else hears you say Shazam. Because he could be buried alive and say Shazam to himself and he'd be fine.
Yeah, it's not like he can talk. He can't talk through that mask.
No, you just say Shazam.
Because earlier there was a story where all he did was whisper it and he turned into Captain Marvel.
Look at the bike they're on there, look.
It's a triple bike. You see that
bike made for
image
free.
there looks like it's straight out of the Bash Street Kids.
Yeah.
More China wall.
So that's some nice anatomy there where he's pushing against the wall.
Oh, do I have to draw all 3 of them getting hit? Yes, you do. Oh, here.
I'm just going to draw their legs then.
With a great ass. Backside Captain Marvel, just bam.
Check
leg.
my cheeks.
Yep. These old
comics
are great.
That's just about it for me, I'm afraid.
All right, well, we'll go to the end of the story after having all of these fights, all of these adventures, all of this craziness.
Oh, it's a big book.
All of these big monsters and stuff running through. They finally capture Mr. Mind. They finally settle on exactly what he looks like, by the way. So they start drawing him on a regular basis. They finally capture him. The last chapter, the 26th chapter of the story.
They speed the story up towards the end because there's now 8 panels a page.
Yeah. Well, they were going through less pages. I think they had a page count cut.
Right.
It was hey guys, we just got cancelled. We've got 1 issue left.
We've got 1 issue left. 16 panels a page.
Look at that. They're crying, look.
They end up capturing him after all of those big adventures. They try him. Guilty. Mr. Mind's found guilty.
Electric chair. You're going to put a worm in the electric chair.
Into the chair.
That's what they do. They put the worm into the chair.
Oh my God, that's so dark.
And Captain Marvel, not Billy, but Captain Marvel's reading around midnight, notices a midnight and the lights flicker.
Oh my
Mr.
God.
Mind is dead. Oh, they killed him.
And he goes, 7 o'clock, Mr. Mind is dead.
This is a kid's book.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It says later, Mr. Mind is stuffed and placed in a museum.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my
God.
That's
the final and complete end for Mr. Mind. Only a little worm, but we had a whole world worried. For 2 years. There were times when Captain Marvel thought he'd never get him. But here it says lamps all over the city grow dim as the switch is closed at the prison, sending thousands of volts of deadly current.
Doesn't matter whether it's a little
Mr.
worm.
Mind's body.
Doesn't matter whether it's a little worm or a massive hunk of a man. You're going to take the same amount of electricity.
Yeah,
it's going to. He's going to get fried.
Could you imagine if they did that today and they electric chaired people and then had them stuffed and put in a museum?
Yeah. After all of that,
Oh,
after
wow.
all those adventures, we fry Mr. Mind. And how do we end the story? Hey, kids, join the Captain Marvel Club.
The Captain Marvel Club.
Get this swell album today.
Oh, dear.
That'd be swell.
Oh, dear.
That, folks, is part of a large part of the Monster Society of Evil. Just look at them great covers.
Great covers, aren't they? Yeah, look at those.
Just phenomenal stuff. I love them. I love that era. Not for the obviously horribly bad cultural stereotypes, but just for the whimsy that was there. Look at that. That's an old Super Snipe cover right there. Billy Batson's looking in a funhouse mirror at Captain Marvel. This is great. Just great stuff.
What a great book.
Yeah.
But yeah, nice production, nice hardback. Just a great
Lovely.
product. World's mightiest mortal right there in the world's most outlandish story.
That was bizarre.
That was something, wasn't it?
God, well, I didn't guess the ending.
You've never been able to guess that, ending. I had read somewhere that his execution was Captain Marvel stepping on him, but that having him electrocuted like that's a little bit more morbid.
Yeah, I don't know which one's more brutal. Yeah,
right. Folks, I want to thank you so much for watching this episode of Sunday Funnies. Russ, tell folks how they can find you.
You can find me at russleach.com, all my books, my email list. So if you want to sign up to the email list, that'd be really cool. Also, Instagram, I post a piece of art every day. But all the connections, all the social medias and everything, my Indiegogo, my YouTube channel, whatever, you can find all those things at russleach.com.
All right. Glenn, tell folks how they can find you.
Yeah, get me on the usual places like Facebook and Instagram and all those things, but you can find most of my work on Amazon. You get all my books and magazines on there. So check that out. Just Glenn B. Fleming on Amazon.
I want to thank Luke Stone for being with us today for as long as he could. He probably had to drop out because of bad internet.
Because of the weather, he said said his connection was going. Bye,
And
Luke.
He wants us to point out that there is a hybrids double feature right now over on Indiegogo where you can get the RPG game and a great trade collection there, as well as 2 sets of Arrow comics that are available on that campaign over at Indiegogo. Just type in hybrids RPG over at Indiegogo and it'll take you right to that campaign. There's also Chrome Dog running with Agent Zero on Indiegogo as well. Type in Chrome Dog. Take a look at that campaign as well. I've been your host, Randy Zimmerman. You can find my stuff over at arrowcomics.store, where you can find more copies of Luke Stone's hybrids. You can find books like Paragon and it's a superhero title I do, and also HeroBot Zero, which is a book I do practically all on my own, 3-foot-tall giant robot having fun. Try to make it. Can't quite match the whimsy of Captain Marvel, but we try to get close. So you'll see more of those characters as we go along. Pay attention to Arrow Comics, arrowcomics.store. Deeply appreciate you being here today. I know Russ has to leave, so we shall run. Right, everybody. We'll see you soon. Next week, we'll be back here live. We were pre-recorded today, but we'll be back here live next week. Covering more of the stuff that really inspires us, that makes us so glad that we work in this business, and
that was wonderful.
Great things that we can learn from. I thought you'd enjoy it. I did. And I'm really sorry Brian K. Morris couldn't join us today, or Scott Roseman. We'd have probably only gotten through half of the book then.
Yeah.
As far as I understand, Brian was busy doing something else.
Yeah, Brian's out running around. Scott, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm recording this so I can do a show this weekend. I don't know if that's gonna happen, because we're supposed to get between 7 and 10 inches of snow like within the next couple of hours. So
wow.
You do everything in a fez, Brian.
Yes. Fez it up.
I think he does, yeah.
Fezzed.
Everybody take care. The chat will be live again next week. So the storm is messing with the net. I'm going to pop up. Yeah, that was Luke. He had to leave because of the storm. Everybody take care. Deeply appreciate you watching. We'll be back next week, Sunday Funnies, 9 a.m. Stop by Friday mornings if you can and watch the next episode of Comics by Night. We're going to be talking about the Metal Men, mostly Simonson, a little bit of Andrew, perhaps maybe even a little bit of Shane Davis. We'll take a look at a couple of incarnations of the Metal Men. And if you've never seen that property before, do swing by and take a look, because it's one of my favorite properties that DC has. It's underused. But anyway, folks, take care. Go visit your retailer as soon as you can and look at those comics close to the floor. As we go out the door, we want to remind you of the immortal words of Mr. Groucho Marx, who says, if you're not having fun, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
It's the way it is. Folks, take care. Hope you had a good time. We had a great time. There'll be more of this fun stuff next time. And check us out, Indie Comics Network. We're always archived over there. You got some time, go take a look at an episode. Plus, there's a great interview over there with Trina Robbins that Daphne Lage and I did a couple of years ago. It's mostly Daphne. But that they just had an article on Trina's surface up through Facebook about how she wants to remind everybody she's still alive.
Yeah, so, she's 84 now.
Yeah. Still vital. That interview we had is priceless over at the Classic Sunday Funnies. Go check that out over on the Indie Comics Network and take a look at it. It's a great interview. It's a great time. So, we'll see everybody soon. Russ has got to run.
See ya.
See you later.
We'll see ya. And he's gone. Anyway, now that he's gone, we can talk about him. No, just kidding.
Now he's gone. He's talking about us.
I'm sure that's what's happening.
Those guys.
Take care, everybody. We'll see you soon.
See ya.
Bye, Jack.
We really shook the pillars of heaven, didn't we, Wayne?
No horseshit, Jack.
No horseshit.
Have a question or comment for us to address on the show? Have a topic you want us to talk about? Email us at indiecomicsnetwork@gmail.com. Want your comics to arrive in pristine condition? Head over to GeminiComicSupply.com and save 10% on your next Gemini mailer order or anything in the Gemini Comic Supply store. Use coupon code RAGIN10. That's RAGIN 10.
Do you draw the Flintstones naked? There's a market for that.
The cops are doing their job as long as they don't be mean to people who are actually being innocent. Then I'm all gravy, baby.